Hello, I have a guide for you how to block TMLs. Bring it quite nice video about TMLs and TMDs, how it works and everything, so I'm not gonna explain that too much. But for the beginning, I'm gonna select all the TMLs from all factions and fire them just to see how they fly. So just some random location. Hopefully we're gonna see something, not too much. Those are pretty much same height. Cybran is a bit lower and Aeon is even lower, but if you see now at the end they all fall pretty much with the same angle, and that angle isn't quite high from the ground. So you may notice sometime if there is some hill in front of your max or in front of your base, the TML just hits ground. So I'm not gonna show you how to put ground in front of your max, but if you can't put their ground, you can put some other higher building that could block the TML, right? So I'm gonna shoot one missile at this T2 max and just place a shield in front of it. It doesn't need to be finished, and these engines are building much faster than they should because it's AIX, so they have some better build rate. So you just start a shield. It can have just 1 HP, well better 2, so it won't disappear. And as the TML approaches, you can see it's not flying very high and hits the shield. So almost for no mass, you defended the TML, and this is exactly the situation you may find yourself at the very beginning when you have your first T2 maxes, you just finished T2 land, but enemy already has a TML and is shooting at you. So the TMD wouldn't be in time, so you wanna block that missile somehow. So you just placed shield in front of it because shield is much bigger than the max. And when you saw how the TML missile is flying, it can always hit the shield. So that's one way how to defend against it if you don't have a TMD. Just place some bigger building in front of it. And you can also stop more TMLs than one, but they can't be too far away from each other. So for this, I'm gonna use these 3 Cybran TMLs. They are all lined up, so they would hit the max at the same time. And again, just place the shield. And now I'm gonna speed it up a bit, so we don't need to wait for the missiles. See, 3 missiles, pretty much the same time of impact, so shield has no problem defending 3 missiles, and you can do this also with your ACU. Just place the shield in front of ACU and it also gonna stop them. Problem with this might be if you are somewhere in the middle of forest or your base is still surrounded with trees, then the engines would just start reclaiming before they place the shield. So you wanna be sure that there's nothing on the ground that could block the building from being built. So if you have everything reclaimed, you can save the max quite easily if you have T2 NG nearby. So let's get back to this, and there is a bit different formation that you can quite often find, that these TMLs aren't exactly lined up. There are some differences, but they're still quite close to each other. So if I fire at the max again and place the shield, you can see they're not flying exactly at the same time. So theoretically one should kill the shield and others might pass, but this is still quite close formation, so this doesn't matter too much, and shield should be able to defend them all before it disappears. So you can even defend more TMLs, but then if those TMLs are like that, totally different distance from the target, then it's much harder, and I think this is not gonna work anymore. This is quite a distance between them, so in this case I would say the shield is gonna block just the first one and the other might pass. We're gonna see. So it actually blocked two of them, which is still quite nice. So if you have two lined up like this, different distances from the target, it's still enough. So also this is how you should place your TML if you wanna kill something. Always think about where you're gonna shoot. So if you want to kill ACU, it's good to have them at the same distance, so all the missiles hit at the once. So that's also how to build TML. And then we have this target nuke defense. There's not too many games where you would have to defend your SMD from TMLs, but if that happens you can do it with shield easily as well. So I hope these TMLs gonna hit what I want. The shield like this should be enough to block them. And this is the difference between a lost game and one game. So if you can't build TMD in time, or you see the missile in last moment, you can quickly grab some of your NGs and place a shield in front of you, and that's enough. It doesn't need to be finished, and it stops the TML. Okay, so this is one way how to defend without the TMD. I hope you find it useful, and it's gonna save you some eco and maybe a life in a game. So see you in another video.